Hi there, beautiful women of the world and others who are watching. So, yesterday I gave you a rather discouraged update about my efforts to date on Bumble. And today I went on my first Bumble date. I mean, I've been on lots of dates on Bumble in my life, but this is my first time since I've kind of renewed my efforts to date. And okay, so here's where I am. I went out with a guy tonight who was tall, decent looking, wealthy, smart, 7 years younger than me, and he did everything right. I mean, he found a really nice place on Yelp. He asked me out. We went out. We had an interesting conversation. He paid for the check. It was actually like I got up and left, and then he had just paid for everything. I'm not the type of girl who tries to, go to the bathroom to get the guy to pay, but he did pay, and it was really sweet. And everything was fine. I think I don't, he was interesting, and I just, so this is where I am. I feel very frustrated because right now what I feel like is like I'm changing kind of like what kind of value does a husband have to add to my life at this point in my life? I have everything that I want, and and I'm almost sad in a way because in my 30s I think there was a time I would have been overjoyed to meet a guy like this. But at this point in my life I kind of feel happy that I'm going home and I can just sit here by myself and enjoy my space and my sleep. And I don't have this huge need to have a guy like me or any kind of emptiness in my life where I feel like I need this man. We went out for a drink. We went for a walk on a High Line. I think, and so when we got to the subway, like he kissed me, and I kind of felt like, I really don't know how I feel about kissing someone on the first date. Not that, it's totally normal, but I kind of would like to build up to that a little more. And then, he kissed me again. And at that point, I really felt like done with the kissing. Not that there's anything against him. It just feels like something intimate. And, I also kind of feel like a little, I think the whole thing, I worry, maybe if, I'm 43 and he's 36, maybe he, thinks that I'm like easier to take advantage of or something because I'm older and he's younger. I don't know. But I guess, this is very incoherent, but I think like I would definitely go out with this guy again. I think he was totally nice and great and checked all the boxes. And I don't think that you have to feel like a certain click on the first date. And it was obviously really nice to spend some time with someone. I think my biggest fear is that my personal psychology is clashing up against my pursuit of happiness. Like basically, maybe I'm getting closer to meeting someone that I could partner with, and these ideas in my mind of what is even a partner going to bring to my life. It seems like could be perfectly great to have a baby on my own. And I'm so fortunate that I'm a woman and I can take that path, are stronger. And kind of feeling like there's no guy that I'm going to meet who's going to really bring a lot of value to my life. And I love the friendship that my co-founder brings. And do I really need anything more? And, and at this point in my life, my urges for intimacy, like being fulfilled in that way by someone else, just right now seem to feel less strong. On the other hand, as I was sitting with this guy, he asked me to show him some pictures of my trip with my mom in Saint-Emilion and Bordeaux. And as I was looking through them, I saw these pictures of this guy I dated last winter who just like didn't ever want marriage or children. And I just felt like such fullness and excitement seeing his photos and remembering that feeling I had with him. So I know that some men I'm with do elicit that, feeling of goodness. I just feel like an idiot, to be quite honest with you. Like, I have this big brain and I don't know what I want, and I keep inventing stories about how what I want is not what I want, blah, 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 blah. But I went on the first date, it was fine. Maybe I'll see this guy again. He lives in San Francisco, but he visits New York. He has kind of a flexible lifestyle. Maybe things with him would be wonderful. But also, marriage is an institution. It was originally a business relationship. Now women can make their own money. Women can have IVF and get a sperm donor and have their own baby. The world is changing a lot. At one point you say, like, well, what's organic and natural is better. I don't know, people. It's so confusing. Also, Jason, I just really appreciate your warm, kind words and advice. I feel like to be able to respond to you properly, I need to step back and kind of clear my head and be unreactive. And I just don't seem to have the space and energy to do that right now. But I'm doing this channel publicly because I feel like if I communicate what's going on with you, I will hold myself accountable to being true to myself while dating. So my overarching feeling right now is that making friends with more men would be an overall positive without feeling the rush of partnership. On the other hand, continuing an online dating also seems to be valuable. I mean, it's cool that I connected with someone who's smart and good looking and wealthy and chivalrous and seems to be marriage minded, if not a little too pushy on the intimacy side. But, it's just the first person I met. So maybe the third or the fourth person, I'm going to feel like maybe they really will have something to add to my life, and maybe not. Maybe it's all a social construct. And I really don't know where I was going with that. But talking about it publicly holds me accountable to what I said I wanted and pursuing what I wanted and finding out what lies there and just trusting the universe that the best possible outcome is in store for me. Sending love to all listening. I will keep you updated on what's to come. Yes, so on one hand, I feel like, okay, like all of the women I've talked to who found love in their early 40s, except one, found it online. So that is a good indication to continue online. On the other hand, I feel like I haven't really made the effort to make genuine friendships with men without that pressure, like of the first date being intimate. And maybe if I put a little more energy into those friendships, some of them might evolve in a really beautiful and natural way, and it's not too late for that to happen. Have a good evening, everyone.